Give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Grant us, Ya Allah, the eyes to see your light and show us, Ya Allah, what is wrong and what is right as we walk along your path. Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Give me, Ya Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Help us, Ya Allah, spread this blessed deen, and help us, Ya Allah, help the Muslimin, and help us, Ya Allah, overcome the mushrikeen. Give me, Ya Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Make us, Ya Allah, fighters for your deen, and make us, Ya Allah, forever mu'mineen, and do this, Ya Allah, despite the kafirin. Give me, Ya Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Give me, Ya Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to discuss the page on death, the last rites to be performed before the burial of every Muslim that dies. Let's look on line 1 of this page. Number 1. Every life must face death. No one will escape death. It is a fact of life. Allah has set the way, time, date, and place for everyone's life to be taken by Israel. The particulars that we talked about, which is the time, date, the place, and the way of the death for everybody, is decided during the night of Brahath, Nisf Shaban. If you remember from important nights in Islam, that is one of the important nights. So that is when everybody's way, time, and date of death is decided. No one has the choice of the way they want to die. If anybody has the choice of the death, don't you think the kings would choose easily lying down in the bed. Or if they had choice of not dying, they would die. They would not. So it doesn't make any difference. The best thing to be is to be ready for it. That's the thing to do. Let's look on number 2 on the page. It says after someone has died, he or she must be given a thorough bath. It is the duty of the closest relative of the dead person to give him or her the final bath. And I did that in case of my father. When he passed away, I gave him the final bath. And the way you do that is just like you take a bath yourself. First of all, you perform the istinja on them, then the wuzu, and then use the soap to clean all the body, and then run the water over it 3 times. Once it is done, if you look on number 3, it says that after the final bath, the body must be wrapped completely in white unsewn sheets. So what you do is you take one sheet and tie it around their legs, take the other sheet, tie it on the top of the body, wrap around it, and the last one you wrap the whole body into it, which you use a lot bigger sheet than the rest of them. So the body, after being wrapped, looks something like this. This is a stretcher, okay? And there's the body, wrapped up in sheets, and you see those things tied over here? And this is the remaining sheet hanging from this end and from the feet end. So that's the way it should be. After the bath, wrapped up in unsewn, clean sheets. Number 4. After you take the body to a mosque or to the funeral grounds, a namaz janaza, or the funeral prayer for the dead, must be read by every Muslim present at the funeral. So we're talking about the namaz janaza. Janaza is nothing but funeral. Number 5. There is no azan, iqamat, raku or sajda in the namaz. Just like you saw in the beginning of the video, it showed you that there is no azan, iqamat, raku or sajda in the namaz janaza, because the body is lying in front of the praying group, and Allah does not want the non-believer people to think that we are bowing in front of a dead body. So Allah does not want people to be bowing to a dead body or going to the sajda. Bowing and prostration, raku and sajda, are only allowed in front of Allah, nobody else, regardless if it's a king, whatever. In this case, we have a dead body in front of us, so it's not allowed. Let me show you a short video of actual namaz janaza that I led of my dad. So let's watch that together, okay? In namaz janazah, there is no ruku and sujood. I started out with Allahu Akbar, and I ended up with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, just standing up. So that is the way the namaz janazah is supposed to be. Let me read number 6 for you now. Once the body is buried, the grave of every Muslim must be unmarked. The reason? To recirculate the land and the property, so one person just does not get a grave over there and that it stays there for himself only. Because on the Day of Judgment, from each grave there will be minimum of 70 dead people raised from each grave. So you can imagine that room is needed for the other people to come. Now, unless it is required by the local laws, then you may have some kind of marking, whatever, but make sure that it is the minimum legal limit. Don't go over covering the whole grave, because that is not allowed in Islam. But if it's the local laws and everything, then what can you do about it? So the best thing is to just go with the lowest limit of the markings. Number 7, grave is 100% dark place. 100% dark place. The grave is so dark that if you put a live person in there, he can legally go blind in 8 hours. The eyes will just stop working. The retina will die. It is so dark. Now, some people get the bodies of their relatives cremated, which is burn them in the fire, make it, just dust and put it in an urn and either go throw it in the river or keep it in the house. Some people do that too. And even in a cemetery, they have those boxes where you can get the body cremated and they just put it over there to save the money and all that. The persons getting the cremation do not have the idea mainly of saving the money. It is of escaping the punishment from the grave. Some people have their bodies embalmed where they take the intestines out and everything. They think that if they get the cremation done and there's no more body, there's no more punishment in the grave, after the soul leaves the body, the value of the body is 0. It doesn't make any difference because the punishment is going to be to the soul. So you get it cremated, you get it done, whatever. The punishment due is coming. But remember, the grave is 100% dark place. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. Let's look on number 8. Once the person is buried and the people start moving away from the grave, Munkar and Nakir visit him or her in the grave for the first accountability of the person's beliefs and the deeds. So, if a Muslim reads Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, They don't bother him. They leave him alone and tell him that we will see you on the Day of Judgment. But if you cannot read it, the punishment begins right then and there. Accountability on the Day of Judgment depends on this initial accounting or the questioning in the grave. Number 9, going with a funeral and staying at the grave site till complete burial gets you lots of rewards from Allah. So going with the funeral and staying at the grave site till the complete burial is a guarantee that you get lots of rewards from Allah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whoever goes with the funeral and stays there till the burial gets the rewards equal to 2 mountains. So don't just go with the funeral and say, hey, bye-bye, you're at the funeral and I'm gone. Stay there till the funeral is done, till the burial is complete, putting as much dirt as you can over the casket or the body gets you extra rewards. Also, the flowers and all those wreaths and all those, they have no benefit for the dead body. They're for us to see. So in Islam, they're not allowed. You should try to stay away from the flowers and all those. Instead, read the Quran, donate the money in the charity, and send the good points or convey the good points to the dead person in your prayers. Let's look on number 10. Muslims are not allowed to attend the funeral of non-believers. The reason: if you go to a Christian funeral or a Jewish funeral, you know what they do? They make it look good. They in fact celebrate the person's death. They do not believe in the accountability. They believe Jesus died for them. Nobody dies for anybody. On the Day of Judgment, everybody will be accountable for themselves. So try to stay away from the funerals of the non-believers, but make sure to go to the funeral of the Muslims. Remember, if you go to somebody's funeral today, somebody may come to your funeral tomorrow. It works both ways. It is a reciprocal reward for you, and when you die, reward for the other people. Also, when somebody dies in your family, don't just bury them and forget them. I'm sure parents cannot forget their children, and children cannot forget their parents. But I'm talking about other relatives also. If somebody dies, don't just bury them and forget them. Read the Quran, spend the money in charity, send them good points. And those good points don't only go one way, you also get the rewards many, many folds more than what you actually do and what you actually send them. This concludes the page on the death. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Grant us, Ya Allah, the eyes to see your light, and show us, Ya Allah, what is wrong and what is right as we walk along your path. Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Give me, Ya Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen.